Hey team, the purpose of this video is to teach you how to design multi-layer JPG files using Microsoft Word. Now that might sound clumsy. The easier way of saying it is you just want to make a picture that's got some edits or some words on it, but man, you don't have time to figure out how to use Photoshop and you don't want to use complex programs. You just want to get the job done quickly and easily. So here is your tutorial. Right now I am inside Google Chrome, and my first recommendation to you is to come up to your Omnibar or to your search box right here and then search for whatever type of image you're looking for, but include the word free. So if you want food images that are free, that you have permission to download and use, then make sure that you include the word free in there. Otherwise, you're not going to come up with images that are free. And then another layer of protection, just to make sure that you legally have the ability to utilize those resources, is that you can come into those search settings right here. And inside of those search settings, make sure that you identify that you want images that are free. Inside those settings, head down to Advanced Search. And then when you head into Advanced Search, scoot down to where it says Usage Rights. And you want to be able to locate free to use, share, or modify, because you're going to modify it and you're going to share it. And then click Advanced Search. And then inside your search query, it should hopefully only populate images that have been labeled for reuse with modification. And then at this point, you're not running the risk of getting in trouble for using something that you don't have permission to use. So for example, if you want to include an image of a cellular model, but you want to modify it because you want it to be the cover of your unit and you want to put your name on it and you want to put unit 2 on it, or maybe you're working on a giraffe unit with your students and you want to perform that same strategy, but you want it to be giraffes, or you're over here and you want just to send your students an encouragement, or maybe you want a title slide of a presentation, then you would do that very same thing over here. Make sure that you come up to Settings, that you click on Advanced Search, inside Advanced Search, Free to modify, and then Advanced Search. Now, sometimes when you are using images, they're quite small. Let me click on this one for just a second and show you what I mean. This is 960 by 640, so that might be a decent sized image. Sometimes over here on the left, it'll say 400 by 400. And in my opinion, that's way too small to work with effectively. So you can also, up here in Tools, you can locate size and then choose large, because maybe you want pretty decent quality in the image that you're working with. And so making sure that you choose a size that's going to work well for you might also be helpful. All right, so I'm now ready to move on to the next step of my tutorial. I'm going to click on an image that I would like to use. When I click one time on that image, I'm going to right-click directly on that image, and then I'm going to copy that image. I've already opened up Microsoft Word. Go ahead and open up Microsoft Word the normal way that you would open up Microsoft Word, either down here from your navigation bar or open it. And when you open up Microsoft Word, it'll give you a brand new document. Inside that brand new document, I'm going to click one time. After I click one time, I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to paste that image in here. After I paste that image in here, I want words to show on top of it. So I've already been in here, I've made some adjustments, and my objective is to teach you how to do what I've done right here. So I'm going to scoot up and I'm going to go through that process. I'm going to click Insert. After I click Insert, I'm going to click Shapes. After I click Shapes, I want a rectangle. I have those crosshairs. Using those crosshairs, I'm going to build a rectangle. It doesn't have to be exactly in the perfect location, and it doesn't have to be exactly the perfect size when you're started. You can come in and make adjustments to it. I'm going to go edge to edge, and I'm going to pull it down just a little bit more, and then I'm going to let go. It's blue. Blue isn't helpful for me. I can come up to shape format. I can come up to shape fill, and I can fill it with a different color that's going to work better for me. So you can come through and find the stylized ones that are already here. You can move on to more fill colors right here. You can choose any old color you want with whatever boldness, lightness, or intensity you wish. Feel free to find a color that works for you. Click OK once you've found that perfect color. Now, for me, I actually want white and I want semi-transparent. So I'm going to click on shape format. I'm going to click shape fill, and I am going to choose white. I also want the outline I want no outline, honestly, because my objective is to go semi-transparent with this, and I don't want the outline to be slightly different from the interior color. So I'm going to choose no outline. Inside of a shape, I can instantly have text. I don't have to add a text box in order to have text in the shape. I can go directly into that shape and then begin typing my text. So I'm going to double click, and then after double clicking, I'm going to type the word more and joy. Unfortunately, the text is white right now, so it's not showing up very well. So I'm going to select that text, come up to home. I'm going to change the color of the text. So I'm going to click right here on the letter A that has the line underneath it. I'm going to choose black. I want the first letter to be a lowercase letter. So I'm going to scoot to the beginning, make it lowercase. I'm going to illuminate all of that text because I want a different font and I want it to be bold. So I'm going to scoot down to a font that I like. I'm going to come in here and type 120 because I want it much larger than that. I am going to scoot this box down. I'm going to click one time and I'm going to use the down arrow on my keyboard. I could have used the mouse to drag it down, but I chose to use the arrow instead. And now I want this box to be semi-transparent because white is just a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to click one time to activate the box because without activating the box, it won't say shape format right here. See, when I click off, how shape format disappears. In order to see the toolbar specific to that shape, you have to click on that shape one time. So after clicking on shape format, this little box, this launching box for this category, I'm going to click right down here, sort of a little box with an arrow in it. I'm going to click that launching box. And what happens is that I have this toolbar on the right-hand side that gives me unique qualities to make specific adjustments beyond what I saw up there in the ribbon. And you have different items along here. And I want to stay in shape options. And if fill does not cascade down, then go ahead and click on that little triangle so that you see all of these items populate. I can change the color from here if I want to, but I actually just want to adjust this transparency bar. See how I'm doing that? How it creates a fog and then you can see through it. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to change that so that I could see a little bit of what was behind, but I wanted to accentuate these letters. If you don't want to see this toolbar on the right-hand side anymore, you can click the X up here and it will disappear. Now, this is where I want to turn it into a JPEG file. Anything and everything that I see on the screen will be a part of that JPEG file. So I don't want this little box over here. I don't want these little circles in there, and I certainly don't want that line. So I'm going to click off of it for those to disappear. And now I'm ready to turn this into a JPEG file. I already have the snipping tool located on the bottom of my computer because I have saved it to the lower navigation bar on the bottom. But if you do not have that, if it does not appear on your screen, then go ahead and click the circle right here. After you click the circle right here, you'll see how this search box appears. And down here, I'm going to type SNI for snipping tool. I mean, quite frankly, you can type the entire thing out, but in my opinion, why waste the finger energy to type the whole thing in? It pops up pretty quickly. Click right here on snipping tool. The snipping tool box will appear. I'm working with 2 screens, so it appeared on my first screen. And you can drag this wherever you want to. Make yourself happy, put it in a spot that's not annoying. And then click the new button 1 time. A fog will appear over your screen and your mouse arrow will turn into crosshairs. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking all of my hard work and turning it into a JPEG file. If you wanted to send it off to Shutterfly and turn it into cards, maybe you want to send a card in the mail to every one of your students, well, this is how you just created a JPEG file for that. Or if you have a website and you want this to be the banner on your website, or if you want to use this as a teaching instrument, so maybe you're inside Google Docs and you want to show your students how to perform a particular task and you want to have a little teaching strategy on the right-hand side, or maybe you're in Google Slides and you want to help them see how to find different things and you want to have teaching notes in the gutter of Google Slides, you can do that. There are thousands of ways that you can use this as a teaching instrument, as an encouraging tool, or just to modify PDFs and other resources so it's more stylized. The cover, the title, the heading, those sorts of things. Now you have the ability to use this as a JPEG file in a fashion that you want to. Where possible, I recommend that you give credit to the original author. So if you're going to post this in a blog or turn it into a teaching book of some kind, my recommendation is to give credit where credit is due. So if you have the capacity to go in and say that you got it from this specific website and this was the photographer, my recommendation is to give credit wherever credit is possible. It says no attribution required. So in this situation, you wouldn't need to make sure that you identify who has done the hard work on this, but wherever possible, if you can, let others know where you were able to locate that. So if they want to use it or give credit or say thanks, then that is an option. Team, thanks so much for watching today's video and have a great day.